Thank you for being part of 700,000 subscribers. That is all you. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe. All right, let's get right to it. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. We have one front that is moving by right now. The second one grabbing a lot of headlines for that rare snow. I want to zoom down into that ahead. Right now, this first one moving off to the east. And what's happening with that is that cold air, that Arctic air we've been talking about for about 2 weeks, it is now plunging down across parts of the United States. And these fronts, once again, clipping us by in parts of the Caribbean where a lot of us have had some of those cooler nights. I've been watching your comments, of course. So this is system number one right here with it. Snow on the north side of it, and then we have some rain on the south side, even that chance of some thunderstorms. So this is the first front. This sets the stage for that second system and that rare southern snow that will set up. Right now, this is some rain, but in some of these same spots, it will eventually be snow in just a couple of days. You see that rain right up through parts of West Virginia, then kind of a mix of some snow, parts of Indiana, Ohio, back toward the Great Lakes, swinging back toward Quebec, even over toward New Brunswick, parts of Maine. We've been seeing some snow showers. Now, that's the first system, but look at this. Let's swing back here to the west. We get back toward Colorado, the Denver area. I don't just look at the models, I look at what's going on in the environment. And this here, a typical snow, but this is a sign of a couple things. One, some of the energy coming out of the Rocky Mountains, and two, the really cold air in here. And I bring this up because this is what's going to really kind of surge down to the south, that energy and that cold air, and make the way for that rare southern snow. Now, what's going on here for us on the Caribbean, we have that front that is starting to work its way through. That's what we'll be watching for the next couple days. The first one, and then the second. It's going to stay very active, especially northern Caribbean and back toward parts of Central America, but watching out for some spotty showers for us. I'll zoom down island by island ahead across the eastern Caribbean. So here's that first front, again, setting the stage with that cold Arctic air that will be in place. And that is a key. I want to show you the temperatures in just a moment and show you how that cold air is in place. Right across Antigua, Barbuda, near Anguilla, Puerto Rico, U.S. British Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, the tail end of an old front. Now, let's move forward out in time here. Let's jump ahead a couple days. This here is by Monday, that first system leaves, and then we get the second signs of that next system right here. There's that surge of moisture coming off of the Pacific into the Gulf of Mexico, and that cold air that I mentioned, that's in place. So you have the moisture feed here, and then it meets the colder air. Now, in a moment, I want to zoom down into this sector here and talk about some snow totals. But in the meantime, keeping it wide here, you see that cold air in place, and then that moisture meets it, and we see that chance of some snow in parts of Texas, or a mix where we could see a rain-snow mix or some sleet, which would be little ice pellets as well. That would kind of be in that pinker shading here. Now, Louisiana, back toward parts of Mississippi and even Alabama, there will be some substantial snow totals. Could be a couple inches of snow. We'll zoom down, as I mentioned, in a minute. But there's that surge of moisture. And then this second system starts to die by. Even the panhandle of Florida could see a bit of a mix. And on the back side of it, just with that colder air in place, once we work our way into Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, parts of the Carolinas back through Georgia, we could see some wintry precipitation. So some snow, or again, a mix of that. And then that front moves by Bermuda and near the Atlantic region of Canada, but it's draped all the way down for us in the Bahamas, near Jamaica, Cuba, and then back toward Belize. But once again, very active pattern this winter. I'll be watching out over toward the Bay of Campeche by the time we get into next weekend for the potential of another system starting to develop, another winter system starting to take shape. It's been one after another. Now, here's the zoom down look, and then we'll get to some of those snow totals. You see, this here is by Monday night. So we have that moisture here, but it hits that cold air that's in place. And that's why we start to see, as this kind of builds up to the north, we start to see that rare snow across some of the southern states of the United States. And then you see here, there's some of that snow as we work our way into Tuesday morning, stretching from parts of Texas should be mainly north of Houston, although around Houston and Beaumont, there could be that wintry mix. But then there will be some substantial snow where we could get a couple inches, parts of Louisiana, central and even southern Louisiana, moving into southern Mississippi and southern Alabama, kind of clipping by the panhandle of Florida right there. Lots of rain in the Gulf of Mexico. Even some stronger storms will be a potential. Watching that rain getting closer to the Yucatan of Mexico over toward Cuba. And then just on the backside, parts of this is by Tuesday Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Some of that wintry mix, parts of the panhandle of Florida, Georgia, Carolinas, and then deeper into the day on Wednesday, that's when this system will start to work away. Now, talking about some snow totals. Now, this mapping is a little bit different. This here, this white you're seeing over Cuba, parts of Florida here, that's just the mapping. That's not what we're seeing, but I like to use this map because it's kind of more of a high resolution situation here, where you see this green in here just coming out of Texas, Louisiana, into parts of Mississippi. This is anywhere from 2+ inches of rain, or snow rather, 2 to maybe even 4 inches of rain. Watching right near Baton Rouge in there, that's a very rare snow. Sometimes snow happens, but to get some amounts where we're talking about 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rain, that is not typical. Trying to move into parts of Mississippi, and then there could even be an inch or two in parts of Alabama, maybe clipping by the panhandle of Florida, and then working its way toward, just on the backside, Carolinas, over toward Georgia. There could be an inch or at least a wintry mix as we get deeper into or at least over the next 2 days, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning in particular. But it's all about that cold air, right? It's in place because of the first system. So this is today. Here's the Arctic air in this shading up here. So this is all going to be plunging down to the south. So the systems are really tied together. The first one leaving that cold air in its wake back behind it. So you see here, let's go out in time. There's that surge of the Arctic air right in here. This is by the time we get into Monday. So we have a lot of really Arctic air, parts of Canada back through the United States. But that cold air in place, this is the Arctic stuff, but still that cold air in place all the way down through the northern Gulf of Mexico. And that's why with that in place, and then that moisture that feeds in and hits that's why we're going to have that rare snow potential. Now these fronts, watch this. This is the tail end of a front. So we have a couple hit or miss showers today. Barbados back through Dominica, hit or miss showers. This is that first system that will be rolling by. So this is later today. Some of that rain building in parts of the Gulf of Mexico. Have already had it in the Gulf. And then as we go forward into our Sunday, so by tomorrow, there's the front in here. So we're going to have some colder nights back through parts of Mexico, Cuba, and the Bahamas. We've already had that. But quickly, just as this front moves by, few spotty showers, Barbados, Trinidad, St. Vincent the Grenadines. But just as that front moves by, that moisture feed kind of tapping into the moisture from the Pacific, Bay of Campeche, Gulf of Mexico, there's that moisture building in. That's setting the stage for that southern snow over toward parts of the United States. This is Monday afternoon. And then with an easterly flow in through here, even the ABC Islands, where we did have a couple showers at times over the last few days, we'll see another chance of a few showers, but then that moisture feed swinging back toward the west. All right, here's the Atlantic region of Canada, and then we'll see some signs of that next system here. This here, you can see some of that. It's going to be very active. Parts of Quebec, Newfoundland, back toward Prince Edward Island, because there's going to be pieces of this system. One kind of working in as we work our way into tonight, tomorrow morning. Some snow, some rain kind of scraping by over toward New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. But there's that second piece of it right here. Look at New England on the back side of this. By the time we get deeper into tomorrow, look at that snow that will be building back in. And then this is going to, by the time we get into Sunday night and Monday, lift right up again. So a couple of quick moving areas of energy, Atlantic region of Canada coming out of New England. But then as we get into Monday, while we're dealing with some rain, at least initially in Newfoundland, we're going to be watching out. There it is. There's that next system quickly back behind it. That's the one that will start to develop as we work our way into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now the seas are going to be high. You could see where the front is with this. As we work our way into tomorrow, things start to build in the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic waters, and choppy for us in the Caribbean, but it stays that way and only increases. This here is by Monday, and then we'll see that next system building. Look at that. This here is by Tuesday. Northern sections of the Gulf of Mexico, we could be running over 3 meters. So we're talking about 10 feet. Same thing off the southeast coast of the U.S. This here is by Wednesday. So you get the idea with that next system building in and moving across, rough conditions over toward parts of the Gulf of Mexico and parts of the Atlantic, monitoring those. By the way, Eastern Caribbean for us, those Atlantic passageways, the Atlantic side, it's going to be on the rougher side as we get into next week. So giving you that heads up on the water, things are going to get progressively worse over the next few days. Now, as far as rain totals go, a lot of this light blue shading saying, hey, Western Cuba, for us in the Bahamas, we may catch a shower, but the rain totals won't be too high. Same thing for us, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, we may get 1 or 2 showers. Haiti as well. North and east side of the DR, Dominican Republic, we could get a couple showers, but we may, at best, get up to 25 millimeters of rain or an inch of rain. Most totals, if you do get rain, would be lower than that. This little pocket in here, we may get a bit more, could get an inch or 2 of rain for some of us from Trinidad back through Barbados. Most of us, again, less than that, but just a slightly better chance of a shower too. Suriname, Guyana, northern Venezuela, not as much. We may see a few of those showers near the ABC Islands over the next couple of days, and then kind of scattered about over toward parts of Central America. Mexico City, we're mainly dry, but just watching these next systems kind of building in the Gulf and then moving across. So you see that rain chance is not very high for us in Jamaica today. We're looking at a 20% chance. Not that we can't get 1 or 2 this weekend. The rain chance not too high though. We will be up to about a 30% chance on Monday across the Cayman Islands. About a 40% chance Trinidad and Tobago. That's where we have a slightly higher chance of rain. Port of Spain, we may get 1 or 2 showers around kind of creeping in. 40-50% chance through the weekend in Barbados. 50% chance today of a passing shower in St. Lucia, and about a 30% chance tomorrow, next couple of days. 40% chance in Grenada. 40 to 50% chance St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that 40 to 50% chance holds through the weekend in Martinique. 50% chance today in Dominica. 40% chance tomorrow. 30% chance on Monday, about a 40% chance through the weekend in Guadeloupe. Rain chance isolated Antigua, Barbuda, a 30% chance, 20 to 30% chance St. Kitts, Nevis, and Montserrat. 30% chance today in Guila and St. Bart's, just a 20% chance for tomorrow. Same thing tomorrow, St. Martin, Saba, and Statia, a 20% chance. Isolated about tomorrow, 30% chance in Puerto Rico, and about a 20 to 30% chance the next 3 days, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Just a 20% chance in the Bahamas, northern Bahamas, around Freeport, New Providence. We've had a few showers and some areas of drizzle down to the south. Drier though, drier as we work our way into the Turks and Caicos. Eastern and northern side of the Dominican Republic, we may catch a shower, but then we swing back toward Haiti, mainly on the dry side as we swing into next week. Rain chance stays on the small side today for us in Belize. By Monday, bumping up just a touch, could see a couple showers. 20 to 30% chance in Aruba. There's that isolated chance of a shower. Curacao, 30% chance of rain. Bonaire, about a 30% chance. Very limited in Guyana. Would be northern side, closer to the water. Generally dry as we work our way through Suriname. Rain chance stays on the low side in Cuba, western end of Cuba. That's where we could see a few showers. 40 to 50% chance Costa Rica and Panama. 30% chance the next couple of days in Nicaragua. Just a 20% chance today in Honduras. Rain chance stays very limited across Guatemala and El Salvador, and we're generally dry as we get back through Mexico City. Rain chance about 20 to 30% across the Yucatan Peninsula, starting to build some next week. Mainly dry northern Colombia. Rain chance stays limited, 20% chance northern Venezuela, and then as these fronts move across the United States, we get clipped by some rain. Rain chance will be increasing tomorrow and Monday across Bermuda. So the first cold front that's moving by, the second storm system building near Texas. That cold air will be plunging down to the south. We'll be watching that today, but then it will meet with that moisture, and that means snow and cold in some unusual places. So again, thank you for taking the time to subscribe and be part of this weather community. I hope you're doing well. Have a great rest of your day.